Exposed Thoughts, okay, formerly known as the TNL show, okay, Armani and Cashmere. Anyway, so, you know, this is just a little whatever, blooper, outtake, whatever, because we was having a discussion, you know, about trans people in sports. And we all know that the world gets into a frenzy about trans people in sports. Now, me being the trans person between me and Cash, y'all know, I'm not going to say I'm always going to root for trans people. However, you know, I'm going to go with logic. Let's just...
Logic?
You got something to say?
Okay.
Logic.
Before we turn this camera on,
No,
we
okay.
went down the path of the hormones and body mass and muscle mass and all those different things that are affected when you are, would you say, medically transitioning?
Yes.
Yes, when you are medically transitioning.
Cash smart.
Yes. Which I get and understand. They made this a one-way too.
Yeah.
Anyway, which I understand. But my point is that a trans woman, what I say, a 6'2" trans woman is not the same as a 6'2" cis woman in sports.
And I said that's not entirely true, but it can be true for many different reasons.
You also said it's not the same as a 6'2" man.
Okay, so two things. One, that doesn't necessarily mean because the trans woman, and we just started with, you know, just trans women just came out. We're not like just, you know, putting them out there. Just we talk about everybody. Trans, you on trans spectrum, and you are someone that has medically transitioned or is in a medical part of your transition. We talking about you too, if you're an athlete.
We talk about athletes.
Yes, okay. We talk about athletes. Okay, I am not an athlete, but I am a trans person that has medically transitioned. Okay, so so what I was specifying is that a 6'2" trans woman is not necessarily the same as a 6'2" cis woman, but that also does not mean that automatically, oh, that's because she's the same as a 6'2" man, because she's not a man. And her body is different essentially because of her taking hormones. Now, Cash was also stressing that as athletes, people are training. So now this is where I agree to some point, because when you are an athlete, you're training, you're constantly working, you know, you have different protein and all the things you're training, whatever your training looks like for whatever type of athlete you are, whatever sport, right? However, there is still a sense of, if you are, again, specifically talking about the trans woman as the example we were giving, we in the car, people go crazy out here. I was pointing out that if this woman is on, this trans woman, is on estrogen or hormones in general, your body is not the same. So even if you are a 6'2" trans woman and you are competing against a 6'2" cis woman, you may actually have the same type of muscle mass and makeup essentially because of your hormone levels, because of how it changes your muscle mass and how it affects your body. A lot of people get so hung up on, oh, that used to be a man, but you're missing out on the point of how hormones really affects your body, which if people also did more research and you look up how a lot of cis men, they take steroids and things like that because they need for their body to function in certain ways, whether it's a want or a need. They take hormones, they take steroids or whatever, and vice versa for, you know, just for anybody. So I don't fully disagree, but I damn sure don't agree that trans people don't belong in sports. I think that it's a case-by-case basis. Also, it can be a case-by-case basis depending on what type of sports you're playing. The other example I gave was what did I say? Weight class.
A wrestler.
Yeah, if you are a wrestler, a boxer, whatever, like there's like weight classes. You know, like Cash and I can both be 5'5", but I'm thicker than her. I mean, yeah, I might be thicker than her and she's smaller than me. It's a case-by-case basis. And so, you know, I'm not ever going to fully agree with it. I was an athlete. I did play different sports, but now this was prior to transitioning. So, but I also had advantages on some people because I was shorter, and sometimes I would move quicker, or because I had more weight, you know. So again, like, it's a case-by-case basis regardless of how you identify. But because we are talking about trans people in sports and how so many people make a big deal out of it without being logical, like really logically thinking about it. Ooh, cars, yo.
So there was a case, this was like a few years ago, of this woman, cis woman, I forget what sport they were playing, but they disqualified them because she had too much, what did the guy say?
Muscle mass?
No. What's the...
Oh, her hormone levels were too high?
Yes. She had more...
Estrogen. Oh, no, testosterone.
Testosterone.
Oh.
Than
cis
the
women.
average woman.
Okay.
Or average cis woman.
Okay.
So she was disqualified from jump. That ain't had nothing to do with her medically transitioning.
Okay.
Nothing. Her body just produced these extra hormones.
Okay.
So now that disqualified for her being in the sports, playing against whatever sport it was. I forget what it was.
Did they specify that?
My question is, being on estrogen, is that completely taking away the testosterone in you?
I think, I'm not a doctor. Neither one of us are doctors. In my opinion, I think again, it goes back to saying case-by-case basis, because overall, I think no. Because, all right, prime example, if you are a person that was assigned female at birth, you got a baby in the bag. If you are a person that, because stuff falling, they're probably like, what's in the back of the car? The baby back in. A lot of changes, we told y'all, a lot of changes that happened all these years. But a person that was assigned female at birth that may identify as a trans man now, right, that has medically transitioned. Let's say they've been on T for 10 years and then they stop. If they did not get a hysterectomy, if they did not do anything to stop their like ovaries and all their things, and if they haven't hit like menopause and all the things that would like possibly have you stop having a menstrual cycle, it could return. And your muscle mass and all these things could also be affected. Like, you could have big arms and everything. You hear the baby in the back. You could have had swole arms and even been going to be a male athlete and everything, and now because you decide to stop being on testosterone and maybe a few other things to have your body in the way that it was, it could not be the same. And so this is what I was saying earlier, you could essentially be a different person. You know, so to answer your question, I think in short, no. However, what did you said, the person naturally produces that. Right. So it depends. I think it's a case by case.
My question was, it doesn't just remove all the testosterone from your body. I
don't think so. So
you would essentially still have a certain level of testosterone in you as a trans woman.
Every person, every human, matter of fact, I think animals as well, I'm gonna just say humans have a little bit of both, right? And depending on your I don't even know how to say it, but you should have both hormones. One is usually typically higher than the other. Yeah, that's the end point of it, is that one hormone is typically higher than the other. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So no, it does not get rid of the testosterone.
So then we need to start measuring these levels.
But y'all should be doing it anyway for all the athletes. See, now I get what you're saying, and I agree. Yes, you measure everybody's stuff, but you should be doing that anyway with all the, just like same way like you have to do the measurements before every boxing match for the weight class or whatever. You should do that with all athletes. Don't single out trans. See, that's when I start having an issue.
I agree.
But do I understand why people are doing that specific, or will they may do that specifically to trans people? Yes, I get it. I get it. However, I do think that personally you should do that to everybody.
Hate to bring this person in this conversation, but Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh no.
Okay. Prime example. medically. Well, I don't know if he medically transitioned. But
we don't really respect her like her like that. But Caitlyn,
they go by everything, as far as I understand.
She goes by she and father as far as her children.
Okay.
But she is still a woman. Remember, y'all, not me, not us. Okay. Y'all voted her for Woman of the Year. Y'all, whoever y'all. Anyway.
So she. Being an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she can still play the same way on the same level?
Well, first of all, she like 60. Is she like 60 something?
Regardless.
Again, logically, no, because of her age, because of her being on hormone. If she's now that's the thing. I don't know much about Caitlyn. Mm-hmm. I would like to assume that she has been on hormone replacement, whether it's a continuous thing in this current.
What sport was she in?
She was a runner, right? Didn't she play track? Didn't she run in track? I don't know. She was an Olympian. That's all I know. Again, we don't know much about her. That's the whole. but so I don't. Again, no, I don't think that. What was your question again? See, I'll be forgetting stuff.
Do you think she still plays on the same level?
I don't think so, again, because of so many factors. In her case specifically, I think there's so many factors. Her age, again, if low, like I was saying, if she
that part.
Okay,
I'm
so
saying,
outside of age, I would say maybe not, because what if she hasn't trained in all these years? You know what I'm saying? So like your body can change if you stop training, right? Also, if she has been on hormones, we don't know if it was for a moment or if it's current, if she's still on hormones. Also, maybe she never was on hormones, right? And she just is of wealth to be like, hey, I'm just gonna go get whatever surgeries I want. So then maybe her hormone levels and everything never even changed. She just went and got surgery. Like,
right.
I don't know.
See, these are the factors that play into it before you can just be like, oh yeah, let them all in.
But it's the same thing to say you can't, you shouldn't. It's the same thing. Is it not the same?
No.
Yes it
is. No. There's so many different factors that you just admitted to.
Right.
That come into play when you want to start saying, hey, we are all one in this
team, this sport. Okay.
Sport. Like there's a lot of factors that come into play that we need to consider, and I feel like I can't say that, but I feel like trans people should be a little more understanding of why people are hesitant about it. Because at the end of the day, if my kid is in this sport and they top tier, and then your kid come in as a trans kid, and they come in.
No, that just means she got to get her shit together. See? No.
That's unfair, man.
Oh my!
You took away my baby's scholarship.
Look, Cashley had a baby, and now all of a sudden she feels different about a lot of stuff.
This is true.
You see?
This is true.
Now,
I've even before the baby. As far as I've always battled with the sports part. Okay. Because as a once athlete, like taking competition seriously, it's you want to feel like you're getting a fair shot.
Yes.
And people come in with all kind of advantages, and this just sounds like one.
It is one of many, but right. This seems like the main one that a lot of people worry about and or point out. I can say that. Yes, I see that. However, like I said, I also think it's the same thing for both sides. Like, we need to, okay, y'all, like I said, people, and I'm not just gonna point out cis people in general. You say that you want to test, trans people for their hormone levels and all these. Okay, sure, fine. I wouldn't disagree to that. However, you're doing it should be for both sides of it. You want to make sure that this person doesn't have an advantage, but also you should be doing it to make sure that that it's not a disadvantage as well, because there are some people who, I'm using disadvantage to go to be on the side of the point that I was making.
No,
Okay.
I'm confused of where I was.
With Cash driving. Yeah, I think that, again, it's a case-by-case basis, and people's bodies change. Our bodies change daily. Everybody, our bodies change daily. And so, yes, I get it to say, okay, you want to test trans people to make sure, okay, you were assigned this at birth and your body used to produce this and it used to be built like this or whatever. Okay, cool, sure. But also you should do it for everybody to make sure that everybody meets the requirements. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean by that. Like, without singling trans people out, you're doing it to make sure that everybody, every athlete meets all the requirements. It just so happens that there's a small additional portion for trans athletes. I get it. Yes. So for that, I agree. I'm not going to say I don't think trans people don't belong in sports. I think all athletes should be tested to meet the requirements, and then you see where all athletes fit. That's what I think.
I agree. I don't believe that they don't belong in sports.
Okay.
I don't agree that. I agree with them, with us, or finding a place not where they belong, but making sure there's no unfair advantages.
Okay.
Like you said, on both sides.
Yes.
But definitely, it automatically raises a red flag
for y'all.
A red flag or eyebrow. Like, yeah. Yeah, they got more muscle than I believe that I can ever produce. Okay.
Anyway, y'all, that was, that's the gist of it. This might even be the full conversation. I don't know yet.
We put it up a part 2.
But we should have these conversations amongst ourselves, and y'all let us know what y'all think, in the comments, wherever it is, and make sure y'all subscribe, share this with y'all friends, your family, your coworkers, all your peoples, and just keep on tuning in and supporting us. We appreciate y'all. We back. See y'all later. Shoo!